top 10 best-selling cards out of TCG Player. I'm a sucker for data. I find this kind of stuff interesting. So this is going to give you a little bit of a snapshot as to what has been in the top-selling brackets on TCG Player over the last couple weeks. And this is actually kind of interesting stuff. Make sure you guys smash every crap out subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So we'll be looking at the top selling cards for May for the 21st and the 14th. And I find this particular stuff to be interesting because this gives you a snapshot into actual data that TCG Player has had, and will kind of show you that it's not always about value. It's about the top cards that players are buying and acquiring. It's a much different side of things for the market. So Jason Greffermeyer has an entire article up on this, but we're going to analyze some stuff from this article because I thought this was interesting. So number 10 for this week is actually the Nightmare Unicorn, and this is a rare. Now keep this in mind that these were 97 cents on market price here, and all things considering here, this card has been dubbed a staple by a lot of the community. And when the previous versions of this card were like 20 bucks, you kind of start to turn heads and go, well, it is a staple. And every budget player in the world finally got the chance to spend a whole whopping big dollaroo here to pick up their copy. So this doesn't surprise me all that much. Like, Ancient Guardians was considered a flop by a lot of the player base, but for budgetary options, this was a very good one. All right, that's very interesting. Now, this also kind of caught me off guard here. Number 9 was Snake's Reign. Now, yeah, I understand that previously Snake's Reign was a $78 card, and this card now has a market price at, what, 23 cents? And the only deck that really even cared about this was Ogdotic. All right, no other deck should be even looking at playing this. So finding this as like the number 9 hottest selling card for this week caught me off guard. But then you kind of get down here to the rest of the stuff, and then you'll kind of understand here. So we give Ogdotic a lot of crap, all right, but they took up a lot of the top selling spots for this week. So Carusi and Alrit here are 8 and 9. But here's the interesting thing about this. While this deck still is not performing to the standards of the top metagame here, the deck is pretty friggin' budgetary, man. Like, let's be honest here. Like, the big ones are not that expensive, and if they really are, most builds are playing max 2 of them, minimum 1 of them. The King and the Queen, like, there's that. You just gotta fill in your sub-engine. So the cool thing is, yeah, if you want a tier 2 deck that is very solid and will probably carry you for a very long time, you will see that, and you're going to see a lot of that here in these top 10 cards for this week. Look at this. Even, okay, so yeah, the Octopus, the Odiotic Overlord here, yeah, I understand that this is a $16 price tag, but this is completely optional for the deck. All right, and I think that's the most insane thing ever about this is, as you're filling this out, you're seeing, well, new hot crazy trend, all right, which is Octopus, of course, Ancient Guardians. It would make sense for everything to be populating towards the high end here with all the new cards, right? Because people want the new stuff. And then down here, 5 and 4, oh, look at this, Aaron and Amnesius. This is what I was talking about. See, all right, look. So for budgetary purposes, $8 and $9 on copies here are not too crazy expensive. They're one-ups, by the way. Can you play the deck without them? It's not very good, but interesting enough here in terms of large numbers. Yeah, budgetary purposes. Like, okay, so the Octopus guy, totally optional. 2 cards for 16, 17 bucks depending. Okay, the rest of the deck kind of fills itself out at $1 per play sets. Snake's Reign's like same thing, $1. So like 30 bucks. All right, this goes to prove that like the budget side of things for this was really good. Oh, see, look at this down here. Naya and Nunu here. Look at this. So same thing, $, 76 cents. 3 Fs, by the way, $3 and $3 for sets. You did it. Oh, that doesn't surprise me. And then number 1 best selling of the week here? Oh, of course, it's the Water Lily. Look at this. Like, it's literally the monster reborn for the archetype that gives you the option to mill one. Like, this entire week, straight dominated by Odotic. Because it's budget, man. Alright, just because the competitive player base looks at this deck and they're like, it's not good. You know, the main deck for this, just to pick up the engine itself, you see how cheap this is. Alright, so the entire top 10 dominated by that. Alright, so not so thrilling top 10, right? But beyond that top 10, we can see some interesting stuff. Dolphus Coolea came in 11th. We've talked about this. We've already pushed down here. And then the one that really was hilarious here was Red Eyes Black Dragon came in at number 12 for reasons I don't think I understand. Cheap printings were huge this week, with the Joey Starter Deck version leading with some Red Eyes support announcement I missed. Is it Red Eyes Dark Dragoon? And if it is, why now? That's absolutely hilarious to me that this one particular week that Red Eyes Black Dragon was 12th and being purchased. Think about that. That's hilarious. Sacred Hyper Tree here. We all knew what this card was doing. You already know what we're doing with this. Level 9 shenanigans. Alright, that's very interesting. And then, of course, Zohan and then the Skullmeister here. Keep in mind that Skullmeister is one of those budgetary options now. Alright? I'm going to be honest with you. Like, if you're a budget player and you're looking at $7 Skullmeisters and it's not a need for you, of course you're not going to pick it up, man. Like, why spend the money? Now they're 80 cents. Sure. $3 for a playset? Good. Alright, so this entire week was dominated by, Odotic. The interesting part, though, is that Red Eyes Black Dragon coming in 12. I love that. Now, as we flash forward here back to the 14th. Alright, so this would have been a week prior to this. Alright, you're going to get the chance to see a little bit different of a snapshot here. So, Ursartic Septron here, or Septirian, was a little bit different of a story back at this point. So, this would have been 2 weeks ago. Interesting enough, I remember we initially thought that this card was going to be a short print. Considering this card's only like $5, even now, is not too bad. Also, for those people that were wanting to pick up Ursartic in the very early stages of this set's life, these weren't too bad on a price tag, man. Like, I don't feel bad about picking these up. Once again, Aaron, we saw this buyout about a week ago. Zoha, very interesting pickup here. Man, more Odotics. There's the Octopus. 2 weeks running, by the way, on the Octopus. Snake's Rain did fall from the previous week, but still pretty much maintains here. It's 2 weeks running on the top. Carusi here. Alright, same thing. Yep. Alreet. The Water Lily. And then number 1 and number 2 here were Nunu and Nyuya. Alright, finally, number 1 and number 2 bestsellers. Yes, my favorite. Looking beyond the top 10 here, picks that nearly missed the cut were Polari, of course, Ursartic Big Dipper, yup, Amnesia, and then, of course, interesting enough here, we also had Tofsakor Butia and the Grand Chariot here. Alright, it's an interesting time out there. Yeah. Ultimate Mishi Bulkin and all the fun stuff here. But you guys notice that there was no Contact C, alright? It was mainly dominating forces for these lists, like, especially when we can pull back here. It's mainly dominating forces where the players are focusing on the newer sets. You can see the best-selling cards out of these sets, and I'm actually kind of curious as we head into Lightning Overdrive here, what the data will show for these sets. I know it tells a much different story than what the competitive player base eats. The competitive player base is like, I don't understand why we'd be focusing on these cards. But for the casual metagame and for players out there on the budget, these numbers would make sense, alright? Considering, like, if you want to pick up, Odotic, you would be focusing on 3s of these, alright? And if multiple peoples are finally coming through spending the $20, $30 picking up their cores, the prices are going to start heading on up here. So as playsets start disappearing, of course it's going to drive the data up. So it doesn't surprise me to see that these were the top cards sold for May effectively. So what do you guys think about all this? I'm looking forward to the next set of data we'll see here for this, but for mid-May, it's definitely looking like Odotic is the powerhouse that is selling at the moment. What do you guys think? Please comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and smash your crap out, subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Peace out. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out VanCool40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCool40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcoolgames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.